Hey there guys, today we're going to be talking about an old vintage Nikkor 35mm f2.8 prime lens. Okay, so today's topic is the Nikkor 35mm 2.8 f-stop prime lens. This thing is beautiful. Aesthetically, to me, I love the vintage look. It's I don't know, it's almost refreshing because like nowadays, if you look at lenses like the Canon Nifty 50, as they call it, the 50mm f1.8, it's just kind of bland. There's not much like I don't know. I just love the look of the old lens. It could just be me. Second, this lens being vintage, this was made. They stopped manufacturing these non-AI lenses back in the 70s, so it's like around 40 to 50 years old. That's amazing. It's survived this long, so you know it's built well. This though it does mean that it's fully manual, aperture ring's manual, focus is manual. There's no autofocus, so photographers, these lenses aren't exactly for you, but we're looking more videography because I'm a filmmaker, videographer, stuff like that. So the fully manual stuff is super freaking cool because in the middle of a video with an electric lens, you can't change your f-stop well in the middle of shooting. I know you can on the T2i or T3i, which is what I mainly shoot on, is my T2i, and being able to change it in video or just that quickly is so awesome. And the focus ring is also nearly 180 degrees all the way around, which is so freaking cool and is super smooth. Now quality, I know you're thinking like quality, it's a 50 to 45 year old lens, I think mine's about 45 years old. It's, it's so freaking old. What is the quality like? Well, this was made back in the day when metal was actually used as a material. What's metal? What is that? Yeah, you don't know because all the lenses now are made out of freaking plastic. This lens is full metal, to my knowledge. Pretty sure. It is so dang sturdy. You could run it over with a vehicle and it'd probably be broken, but it'd be less broken than a plastic one. And also you're probably thinking, well, it's so old, the image quality is probably kind of poopy. Wrong again. This thing is freaking crazy good. Sharpness, compared to the kit lens, 18 to 55mm, and the Nifty 50, I found the sharpness for me is a lot greater. I actually don't have footage to compare that to, but trust me, this lens is plenty sharp for you guys that are going to be shooting video. Once again, photography, I think it lacks the sharpness there, but video, you're totally fine. Don't sweat it, bruh. Now moving on past the amazing image quality, which you'll be seeing images at random spots in the video of the lens doing its magic stuff. And for most of those shots, I was at aperture 2.8, except for the shots with the sky in the background, and those were aperture about 5.6. And then I always had it on ISO 100 and shutter 1/50th of a second. Now moving on to the Bokeh, because I know some people are just like, Bokeh, I want to Bokeh, or Bokeh, or however the crap you want to pronounce it. I pronounce it Bokeh. Sometimes I slip up and I say Bokeh. Either way, you're fine. Don't worry about that. Don't sweat it. Come on now. So Bokeh and depth of field. As you can see from the image you see on the screen right now, Bokeh is muy bueno, which for those of you who don't speak French, that means very good. And for those of you that do speak French and Spanish and realize that that wasn't French, good job. So, Bokeh is phenomenal. It is a 6-blade aperture, so if you stop down enough, that Bokeh will become hexagonal, which will be the shape of a hexagon due to the 6 blades, but I personally really like that. I don't know if it's weird that I like that, but I love it whenever the aperture affects the shape of the Bokeh. Also, depth of field with 2.8, you are going to have plenty of depth of field, like plenty, so much plentiful depths of field. Also, with a minimal focus distance of just under a foot. It actually doesn't say it on the lens what it is. I'm guessing it's around like 10 inches. But with that, like, you can get just right up in there, and the depth of field is beautiful. It's beautiful. Second thing, it's like the fourth thing, I'm just stupid. Anyways, another thing that I absolutely love about these old vintage lenses, they don't have as much coating as modern lenses do, because, you know, back in the day, we didn't think we needed to coat it very much. We're like, here, put like a coating or two on that lens and we're good to go. Yeah. So, due to that, flares are exaggerated and just beautiful. Oh my god, they're so beautiful in this lens. It lets so much more light in. Not light in as in, like, you know, if you're at f2.8 on this lens and f2.8 on a modern lens, you have more light. It lets more light in as in, like, rays. Like, I don't know how to explain it, because like a modern lens, if you have a light like right here pointing at the lens, you may or may not see a little bit of like flaring from the lens, just depending on what lens you have. But with these lenses, any kind of light that's by it shining, any light that's actually hitting the lens gives a nice little glow, gives a flare. And like, as you can see on the screen right now, the shot of the ceiling fan, it just has this beautiful glow. This like little, it's like a little halo of light around the lights. And oh, do I love that. Oh, I love that so much. I do. Now that we've discussed all this stuff, you're probably thinking like, man, this lens is gonna cost me hundreds of dollars. Why did I even watch this video? You are wrong for a third time. I'm sorry if I keep getting pulled out of focus. I just have one set focal length, so. Anyway, so you're wrong on the price too, because guess how much I picked this little puppy up for? $45 off of eBay. Say what? Yep. Now with these lenses, depending on what camera you're using, you will have to buy an adapter. And adapters just kind of vary on price. The adapter I have, this is an F-mount lens from Nikon. So you're gonna have to just search in Amazon, eBay, Google, whatever kind of purchasing website you like to use. Just search F-mount to EOS adapter, and mine is from Diox. Again, potato. I pronounce it Diox or Diox. I can't even remember how to pronounce it, so whatever. But yeah, this little guy, you just screw it right in. Again, I don't have footage of this because this is my only lens currently, so how am I to record without a lens? I can't. But anyway, you just screw it in, it'll latch once you get it in there. So once you get it in, just keep spinning it around to the left, and eventually you'll hear a little click, and you're like, oh, that sounded good and important. It is good, and it is important. Don't ignore that. Then you just take it and you act as if it's any kind of other lens. You line up the little red dot. There's going to be like a red dot painted on the adapter. Just line those up, click it in. There you go. And if you line it up properly, the little line that shows you on the lens with the focal, the focus distance. Jesus, it took me so long to do that. Anyways, that line should be just straight up and down, like perpendicular with the, not perpendicular, basically it's going to be facing straight up at you, straight up. So yeah, anyways, I hope this review was helpful for you guys and it helped you to make a decision. Again, this is just a Nikkor, if you want to search this, Nikkor 35mm f2.8 non-AI. Just type that in and a ton of these guys will pop up. And just be careful. You need to be really, really careful when buying these, because if it's really cheap, make sure and read that description, because they could, one, the focus couldn't be smooth. That's you want to look for smooth focus, snappy apertures, and clean glass. If there's fungus on the glass, and you keep it in the bag with all your other equipment, it can spread to your other equipment, and then you're gonna have fungusy, nasty film equipment, and nobody wants that. And if there's scratches, always make sure, even if there's little scratches, just as long as it says will not affect image quality, not should not affect image quality, will not affect image quality. As long as you got those, smooth focus, snappy aperture, no image effects, you're good to go, and you have yourself what would be hundreds of dollars in a lens for now just $60. So hope this video helped you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. If it did, we'll be giving these reviews. We will be producing these reviews very often, hopefully as often as we buy new stuff, which we buy a lot of stuff. Oh yeah. So anyways, thank you for watching. Goodbye.